What is up, everyone? Welcome back to my channel, and my battery's dying. My name is Meg, and I'm going to attempt to film a Halloween look for you. After some technical difficulties, aka charging my camera, I am now ready to get into filming. So I just want to do a really quick overview of products that I'm using, and then we can get right into the video. So today's inspiration is coming from the Skull Queen herself, Samantha Ravndal. I'm going to be using this watercolor skull for inspo today. It's kind of like what I'm going for. I'm going to do a little bit of a recreation because I really like the pointillism that she has going on in the picture and the details and just the colors. And my goal for this year's Halloween is to put up at least one video a week for you. I will have my Halloween playlist down below if you want to see my other videos. Last year I had a really cool concept where I took a category or a different, idea and had a light version, and then I did a dark version. I had that going on my Instagram, and I filmed all the tutorials for you, so be sure to check that out. I also have numerous skull looks. They're kind of my obsession, but if you don't have water activated paint, don't fret. You can easily use other tools besides that. There's no need to go out and drop money on something you may only be using once or once a year. I highly recommend the NYX Jumbo pencils, and I have mine in milk and in black bean. Worst comes to worst, if you're really on a budget, this is literally the only two things that you need. I like doing skulls because you don't really need a costume for it, so that's also budget friendly. These retails for about $3.50 each, so for $7 you can get the two things that you need to create a makeup look without going out of your way. They also have other colors, like Every Color Under the Sun. I really like these for more artistic and Halloween type looks. However, this year I do have some Mayron paints that I use for a different look, so I may go into these today. I may not, just because this look is a little bit more simplistic. Wow, you know what I'm saying. And I want to show you the colors that I have pulled out. So of course I have my Take Me Back to Brazil palette. I love this. It has pretty much every color under the sun. This is really inexpensive. I think you can find these at Ulta maybe, but it's BH Cosmetics. That's if you didn't want to order online. I think this retails for $14 or $18, and the quality of the shadow is really decent for the price that you're getting. I also pulled some Urban Decay shadows. This is a Kaleidoscope palette. Urban Decay has amazing pigmented, brightly colored shimmers. And then I also have my Thirsty palette here if I wanted to pull some pastel colors. That's kind of what I'm going for. I also have craft sponge here in case I want to do some makeup sponging. I also have these mascara ones that I also like using for makeup smudging. Don't forget to subscribe if you don't want to miss out on my other videos. And so far, I just have a base of foundation down. I know I'm looking a little bit oily right now because I didn't set it. Because I am going to be working with cream products today, I didn't want to set my base with a powder. If you have really good skin, you can skip the foundation, but I do have a lot of redness and a lot of acne to cover. So that is where I'm at. I'm going to, get into the voiceover, and let's get this tutorial started. Watching Corpse Bride while I do this, so I'm really hoping this look doesn't take me over an hour to complete. That being said, it depends on how distracted I get by this movie. All right, let's get into this. Before we hop into color, I just want to outline my shape to get an idea of placement. So I'm just following the bone structure on my face with a black shadow, and I'm just using a rounded pencil brush. This is from e.l.f. And you just want to figure out where your cheekbones are and draw that down and contour around to your mouth. And if you do make a mistake, you can just use your beauty sponge or any kind of makeup wipe to remove any mistakes that you may have made. So first I'm going to work on my cheekbones. Next, I want to carve out my temple area. It's just the vibe that I was going for today. And then also make sure that you have a reference picture, whether you're inspired by a different artist or you're actually basing this off a skull. Make sure you always have your reference picture on hand so you can make sure that you're putting things where they should be. Before I move on to the eyes, I want to make sure I have my nose laid out, so I'm going to go in with some liquid liner, and basically to draw the nose, it's just 2 points at the top, like halfway up your nose. That's the best way to describe how to do it. can, you know, be as creative as you want with this. I made one side point up a little bit higher than the other just because that's what I like to do. And then for the eyes, I am just gonna follow my natural orbital bone. And if you wanted to add some kind of expression or some kind of shape to your face, this is where you can go in and do that. And I have to say, since I was watching Corpse Bride, I was definitely inspired a bit by the Tim Burton character. So I gave myself a little bit of a sad eye shape, but I still like how this turned out. I am going to start off by taking a Morphe M433. This is like a nice chunky angled brush, and I'm going to dip into the purple color from the BH Cosmetics Take Me to Brazil palette, and I'm just going to start stippling this. I'm going to work my way from darkest to lightest, so anywhere I want a contour, that is where I'm going to be placing this color. And all the colors I'm laying down, I'm just using a stippling motion. So if you're not familiar with stippling, it's basically like a padding, like you're stamping something on with a sponge. That's how I'm going to be applying these colors and how I'm going to get them to blend into one another. So once I have that purple laid down, I'm going to go into my Thirsty palette and take Submerge. I am obsessed with this color. And I'm going to blend this kind of where the blush and where the highlight goes. I'm going to leave some space before my orbital bone, but I'm also going to make sure that I'm blending and stippling this on top of the purple as well. And I want to make sure that I leave the center of my forehead open. For the highlight shade, I want to take yellow, so I'm taking Quench again from the Thirsty palette. I'm going to repeat the same steps, and it's fine if you get it where we mapped out the black spaces because, you know, we can always correct that later. So I'm just packing the yellow on where the very points of the highlight would go, and I'm dragging this down the center. And to contour my nose, I'm going to go in with this very pointed big brush. It's kind of like a no-name brush. It doesn't have like a name or number on it. And I'm going to go back into Submerge and start to contour with that. And then I'm going to go into the purple and contour even further with the purple. And here I'm just laying it on because, again, we're going to be filling the nose area in with black, so it's fine to get it inside that area. Now what I'm going to do is go back into a black shadow. I love the Urban Decay black shadows because like they're super black, but they also blend really nicely. So I'm just gonna define the areas we mapped out earlier, and I'm just going to stamp that back on with the e.l.f. contour brush. And then to blend, I'm gonna be picking up my Real Techniques 203 blending brush, and I'm gonna blend these colors into one another. So when I get to my contour area, I'm not gonna blend the black down, I'm gonna blend it up into the purple so everything looks nice and faded. So now what I'm going to do is take my NYX Jumbo Pencil in the shade Black Bean, and I'm going to work on doing the eye socket area. And then because this is a cream, I definitely want to set it so I don't get creases, so I'm going to be setting it with this matte black shadow. Any matte black shadow you have will work. I just personally really love the Urban Decay ones. Luckily, I don't have much brow to worry about, but to cover it up, you can just kind of go back and forth with the cream. If you are really concerned about it, you can do the glue stick method, which is putting on a layer of purple glue stick, letting it dry, putting on another layer, up to 3 layers of that, and then setting it with a translucent powder. That's something you can do, but it can just easily be covered with this pencil, gel, paint, whatever it is that you're using to apply the black. So I am blending this out with just a flat shader, with just a flat foundation brush, and now I'm taking my Sonia Kashuk 110 and I'm going to set this with that matte black shadow. This is definitely the kind of look you want to have makeup wipes around for. So I'm just going to clean my fingers off really fast because things can get messy, and I'm going to actually redo my temples and fill it in with the Black Bean pencil and then set it with the black shadow just because I want it to be cohesive and super matte looking and not be iridescent. So I am going to do that. I did the same thing for my nose. I filled it in with the NYX Jumbo Pencil, set it with a matte black shadow. So off camera, I'm going to correct this with the same method, and I'm going to add mascara. I'm gonna see if lashes make a difference in this. You may or may not be able to see them, and because I still want my eyes to be open and to pop, I have white in my waterline instead of black. We are slowly but surely coming along, so now I'm gonna be focusing those 3 colors along as teeth. My biggest downfall with skull looks, where I struggle the most, is definitely with the teeth. I have the most difficulty with this. I always end up making them too long. So looking back, I wish I would have brought them down, like the lines that I'm creating. The color is fine for the length of it, but I should have brought those lines down to make the teeth look shorter. I just kind of always mess up the mouth area a little bit, but this is why it's good to practice, you know, before you go out, so you can kind of take a look at your work and figure out what you need to correct for next time. You can always learn something new. After I rotated between those colors, I kind of want to define like the teeth mark area. So this is where the artistic stuff really comes into play. I'm just gonna be doing more free-handed here. I'm just sketching out the lines. I don't want it to be perfect, I don't want it to be exact. I'm just kind of sketching out the area of where I want the lines to be. I'm gonna darken up my mouth a little bit and then bring the black shadow on top of my lips, follow that through the line, and then here is where I'm gonna start defining more areas with the liquid liner, and I'm also gonna start putting the dots around for the pointillism of this look. You can also play around, add cracks around the orbital bone, around the temples, anywhere you want to add details. Now is the time to hop in and do that. For the pointillism, you don't have to use a mascara one if you don't want to. I'm gonna really zoom you guys in so you can really see the details of this. I personally love these mascara wands because like they have the little ball at the end, so it just makes it super easy for just going in, and when you first put it in the mascara and take it out, it's gonna be super opaque and super defined, and then the more product that you use, the less defined the dots are. So I kind of like using this method and fading it up towards the highlight, having it go lighter. I personally think that this is a time saver and it adds a really cool effect. If you don't have a mascara wand like this, I ordered mine off Amazon. I'll try to link them down below. You can always just use a liquid liner pen and dot it on, or use any kind of eyeliner and use little dots. This is just easier, and I really like this, and I went really ham with this to make the look a little bit more three-dimensional, a little bit darker, a little bit messier per se. So just go around any areas where we had the contour. So around the contour, around the orbital bone, around the temples, around the nose, around the mouth, those are all areas where I'm gonna go around with this dotting technique. Alright, so I just finished doing that all around my face, and then for some finishing touches, this is either gonna make or break this look, but I kind of want to see what it looks like to add some highlights. So I'm taking over a glazed donut, and I'm just lightly going to stipple this on. Because I definitely, at this point, we don't want to smear anything because the black will easily smear, and that's kind of the last thing that we want to do. So I just kind of wanted to add this as a layer of iridescence to the look. I'm going to put this the most in the yellow areas and then just kind of drag it out to the rest of the head. This is just gonna add that little extra bit more of dimension to what we have going on. Now I'm gonna lightly go over the teeth. Alrighty, so I am just going to go fix my hair, change my shirt so we can come back and finish this off. Alright, a few more finishing touches. I'm gonna go in with my liner. It kind of adds more details and cracking to the eye area and the nose area. I think my biggest downfall when it comes to doing skulls, as much as I love them, is that I always fudge the teeth up. And I don't realize it until after I do it. Like this all should be like, and not so long. I always end up making the teeth too long. This is why we practice. If you're doing this for Halloween, I always recommend practicing before, unless if you're like really good at winging it the day of.
With your permission, I'm going to do my stuff.
Alright, so this is going to wrap it up. Hello! Hi! Do you like it? I love you. I love you. Oh, you baby girl. Alright, so that is gonna wrap it up for this look. In retrospect, the teeth should be shorter, and I probably should not have added those cracks. Part of being an artist is knowing when to stop, and I never do. So, I really hope you found this tutorial informative and helpful. Just take parts of it that you like and incorporate it into your own look. If you really wanted to do something super dramatic, you could have blacked out the whole rest of your face, brought it down to your neck, and then if you wore like a turtleneck or something, that could look really cool, because then you would just look this floating little half skull. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Don't forget to give me a thumbs up if you did. Subscribe so you don't miss out on more Halloween videos. There's going to be at least 3 other ones coming this month. Let me know if you have any requests in the comments below. It is getting way too late. My brain isn't working anymore. Thank you so much for being here, and I will see you next time. Bye everyone.